Hello there, everybody. How's it going? Well, I had to set the book aside. I've got a show this weekend, but I shouldn't even really be filming. I should be working on finishing up these 3 canvases. But I thought, since these were turning out pretty darn cool, that I would show you how I've done them. So I just started with just a basic 9x12 canvas from Michaels. I like using this size. It's very workable for me. I have taken Mod Podge and glued down little pieces of dictionary pages, a book that I tea stained. This is dictionary pages with stamps on it. I did all of those, and then I put a couple of strips over the top of longer music sheets and map pieces. Just to try to... I'm out of deli sheets. I know, I'm finally out of deli sheets, and I really need to make some more, but I've got to get this prepped for this show this weekend. So, what I've done on these other ones is... Of course, I love that, just like that. Alright, we're going to put that on there. This is the Tim Holtz Melange, I think it's called. I don't speak French. I'm sorry if I butchered the name. I generally do butcher names, that's kind of what I do. Alright. So what I'm wanting to do, and what I've done on these other 3 pieces, is wanting to create as much transparency as possible. I must have a big glob of glick in there. Oh! Oops. Well, it came out. Oh, shoot. Where's my trash can? Okay. And I need a brush and a paper towel. And a go. And it's a go. Okay. This is definitely far too much Mod Podge on here. We're just going to go with it. Well, maybe we can't go with it because it is a lot. Alright, let's take our scraper. Ooh, wow, that works pretty slick. Okay, we don't want to take all of it off because we need some of that on there. This is just a scraper that I got at, I believe, Hobby Lobby. It's in the art section, not in the scrapbooking section. I think it was, did I say $8? And if I didn't, that's what I meant to say. Okay. The whole point of, for me, of putting that underneath layer is to see the underneath layer. And in order to see the underneath layer, that means that we need to make it transparent. We make it transparent by choosing transparent things. With this paper, as it dries, it will become more and more clear. It's going to have wrinkles in it due to the nature of the product. Product just gets wrinkly. If you want something that doesn't have wrinkles, don't use this product, and frankly don't use this technique because the napkins that I put on will also create more wrinkles. Okay. So what colors do I have so far? I have a blue, green, yellow. I guess I need kind of a pink is just too girly. You want the guys to be able to still want it. So I think I will use, we'll see what the napkin looks like when I get it over the top of this. This will be pulled off along the edges, but you do want it to sit around and underneath the more that you wrap it, the better it is. For somebody who doesn't want to put a frame on it, which most of my work doesn't get framed, I like it to stand independent and on its own, so I wrap everything around the edges. That's just my preference. If you want to buy frames, then absolutely do not do it this way. Okay, gorgeous. So, as you can see, all of those different choices of background have really been a good choice. Napkins. Alright. I of course like the blue one the best, because I'm down to my last one of that one. No cherubs. No. Roosters. Roosters and butterflies? Nah. My favorite ones. Well, maybe we'll just use the sky up. Okay. Let's see what we got with this guy. Oh. That's why I never use that one. Okay. It's a 2-ply napkin. I just wet my hands, did that. Sometimes this one came apart really easy. Sometimes they don't come apart that easy. Now, this napkin, be careful with napkins. You don't want to let it sit down until you're ready for it to sit. Because once you start to pounce it down, that's where it's staying. Now, as you can see, I've got some air bubbles in there. Careful, careful, careful. Okay, come on. Now with the other ones, I did rip and tear a lot more. So this is not wet enough underneath of here. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe I should not be using that squirt bottle today. It's seeming to be coming out a little too fast. Okay. Let that sit over the top of that. Alright, as you can see, I am not dragging my paintbrush over the top of it. This stuff is fragile. There, we can do a little bit. It's okay. It's okay so far. See how mushy that is? Do not drag over the top of mushy. Just a hint. Let it dry. Okay, a little bit of air bubbles in there. Try to get those out. Okay, we're gonna go over here. Maybe. Nope. It's okay. All right, it's stuck down there. So I thought the canvas would be wet enough to do this with. Obviously it dried faster than I thought. So as I pounce it, it's okay. We'll put just some over the top. And the Mod Podge does go through. You just kind of have to work it gently. A little bit of air bubble there, just work it out. Okay. All right, push here. Some cool little birds. I think that's going to be a great design. Let's go ahead and bring this around to the side too. I love the way that the branches are kind of going around. So let's accentuate that. Keep it up. Bring the wings around carefully, bringing it down. Now, just to let you know, this looks like it's going on pretty quickly, but that's because I've practiced it with 3 other canvases. When I started this, I didn't know what I was going to do, so that always makes it a little bit more challenging, right? Like, I don't have any deli sheets, I'm lost. I have to paint. Don't have time to paint. Time. It's time. And of course, I worked on my altered book too long last week instead of doing stuff for the show. But I'm kind of showed out a little bit right now, and it shows. I've got plenty of products still, but my thought is you can always have more. You should have more. You know, if something catches their eye, that's what you want. Now, some of my pieces have been pretty introspective, or one lady said, you know, some of the images look sad. So I kind of want to focus on happy, positive, and you know, try to make that a priority. How are we looking? Getting there? Got a little bit too much here. Too much there. Bring it around. Work it around. Beautiful. Get that stuck down. Okay. So, oh, that is not stuck down up there. Glue. Nice. Do not push too hard. That just started to come up, as would be expected. Fragile stuff. Push, 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 push. Push, 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 push. Okay. All right. All right, let's get a little bit of color in here. This is the mustard seed. This mustard seed turns very, very yellow, so I want to be sparing with it. And bring it around to the sides. And stick it under there. Okay. Sunlight. Looking for sunlight. Tangerine Dream. We'll just do 1 squirt of that. These are pretty potent colors, pretty strong colors. Let's go with some of the Tattered Rose. It's a nice neutral color. Now, if you're doing Tattered Rose in any other format, it is basically too light to see over anything. However, in this application, it just kind of gives the right amount of softness. Right? A little bit more up there. Let's see if we can't. I don't think we can. See if we can tone that down a little bit, but that orange is what it is. Careful. Remember, this would be better to do probably if it was dry. This way it kind of soaks a little bit more into the napkin, which is good. Okay. I have to let that sit now. Okay. I'll have to bring in a little bit of blue right there. Green. Mermaid Lagoon. I have the peacock. Broken China. Oh, let's do a touch of the Mermaid Lagoon. Just a touch. Just a touch. Okay. So then what we do is we let this dry. Then we'll come back and stencil over the top of it. I don't think I dare stencil it right now. I think I would lift up the whole napkin if I did so. And one more little squirt of tattered rose up here. Trying to lighten up that yellow a little. No, stop that. That's gonna have to be done later. Gets too soppy. That'll be pretty once the let's put a little green in there. Down here. Once the stencil gets over the top of it, it'll be good. Cool. Okay, I know it looks a little bright. It will get fixed. I am going to turn you guys off, find images ×4 and poems ×4. And then, since this has so much texture with the stencil over the top of it, here, I'm going to need to put some sort of, I'm going to have to put the photo or the image on a regular piece of paper first. Maybe a piece of scrapbook paper that's a little bit sturdier, some cardstock. And then by doing that, it will not show so much all the divots. I kind of love it just like it is, but I need to make something a little bit better out of it. I will use this stencil again. I might use that stencil in here. But I do love how you can see all of the layers. I love that part of it. So, okay, I'll chat soon. Bye.